It's a bit of a trickle at the moment, but there is some posts coming through. So let's have a look at what came through this week. Now we'll start with this guy. Not electronics, really. Well, sort of. I have found a lot of uses for these head torches, and they seem to disappear. So I've had to replenish my supplies over the years, and it's just a couple that's arrived. Now, let's have a look. I've got some AAAs here. Should really put some rechargeables in there, but anyway, let's just go with these guys to start with. See if it's going to work. Ah, very good. The red light, that's what I'm really after for checking the chickens without them freaking out at night time. And a flashing red light, well, who knows? That's actually it's actually pretty powerful. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So that's the first one. There's a couple of head torches, LED head torches. Good one. All right, let's check this one out. It says, it doesn't say anything. Okay. Ah, how timely. So, yeah, following the inspiration of Pile of Stuff, who's doing some mods on his 3D printer, this is a replacement for the extruder. So, an extruder kit where you've got the rollers coming on both sides. Pile of Stuff's just done a video on how to install it, which I'll link up here. But that is, yeah, a worthwhile upgrade for the Creality Ender 3 Pro. Or V2, whatever it's called. But that's a yeah, that's a useful kit to have around the place, and we'll install it pretty soon. Thanks, Pile of Stuff. All right, this guy. Oh, let's just, looks like we can just open it this way. And more wrapping. Oh, yes. So a touch screen. I'm not sure what I saw to inspire with this. I mean, some of these have been ordered quite some time ago, but it's a screen that you attach to a project, and yeah, it's. I think this one's even colour, so I'll put a link to the actual listing. But yeah, I'm hoping one day to be smart enough to be able to use this sort of screen in a project. So for selecting, obviously, items in a menu system. Pretty cool screen, that one. All right, number 4 of 5. And yeah, blunt knife. That's good. Aha. Yeah, so I do have a lot of LED lamps that are in the range now of 3, 5 and even 7 watt, and some heat sinks are very useful. So these ones are for that. Here's an example here of where I've used one. So this one was used in the recent grow light video, which I'll link up here. But yeah, with some of these piling in now, I just thought getting some heat sinks would be good. And you can add to them. So on the bottom, as you can see on here, you can see that heat sink on the bottom as well of that aluminium sink, heat sink, and that's this sort of type here that you can put any type on. And I guess depending on your rating, you don't really need them, but some form of heat dissipation for the LEDs is always a good idea. All right, last one in this lot. Let's see what we've got. It's very light. Very light. Okay. Ah, yeah, very good. So a couple of LCD screens, and I think this is actually following along from one of Technology's projects, and I just thought it'd be useful screens to have. Whether I follow that project along or not, I'm not sure. It's an LED clock, very low energy LED clock that he's got, and yeah, I'll link it in the blog to that to his blog. And yeah, so the only problem is that they use some of the new AVRs, and it's probably adaptable to the old AVRs. So we'll find out. But I love the idea of low energy LCD clocks, and yeah, I might even hook it up to something like the projects that I've got going, which is the QX5252 based projects where the sunlight provides all of the energy. That'd be pretty cool. So that's mailbag for this week. Not very exciting, but there's not a lot coming in thanks to the virus that shall remain nameless, and yeah, the subsequent freight problems that we've been having. So I mean, for instance, I've got a Tindy store with bits and pieces on it, but I just have to say no, can't send it. It's ridiculous freight costs at the moment for well, compared to what it was even 12 months ago, and also in relationship to the cost of the goods. So I'm sure everyone's finding that across the board at the moment. So hopefully that will clear up as time goes on. So after the mailbag, more mail arrived. So after mailbag, postbag, and yeah. Also, I'm just going to take this opportunity to maybe get some scissors that might help as well. So let's have a look at what's arrived. Postbag. All right, so the purists will argue it's already opened. I know. These are the 3-watt resistors that I wanted for the, well, I'm not sure if I need it for the PSU or not. What I'm after is, that's flaring. What I'm after is something which will work if the load's a bit higher. And I don't know if the LM338 needs that in terms of the voltage divider for the PSU. But I also note that I didn't have any 3-watt resistors at all. And I'm just having a bit of a fiddle around with grow lights at the moment too. So I thought, well, if I'm running some big currents through these things, I'm going to need some big resistors. So that's what that one's about. So this one is push button switch. Alrighty. So let's try the new scissors and we'll see if that helps. Oh yeah, that's lovely. And a push button switch is, oh, okay. Yeah, not really sure why I ordered these. Actually, there's a couple of reasons. One is I was thinking that it's possible that the switches on the PSU could be, like a nice positive switch like these guys. And the other thing is that I was fiddling around with a circuit that involved switches, as in it was mimicking switches in a room. So I thought, hey, that'd be pretty cool. And I think the final thing is that I was also mucking around with another circuit to do with making switches for an aeroplane checklist. And I just thought, well, I don't have any of these type, and I'm sure they'll all come in handy at some stage. So that's what those guys are about. Postbag second last parcel, and this one is capacitors. And you'd think that I'd have enough capacitors, but there's always room for one more application. And these ones were, I think, to do with a circuit on the Technology website. So I'd have to check that. But it's 220 microfarad and 35 volts. So I've been discovering that sometimes you need higher voltage than what is. So yeah, basically all the early capacitors that I got were 5 volt, 10 volt. I think 16 volt was the maximum. And I've blown a few up lately, particularly with the PSU. I mean, they just blow up. I haven't caught it on camera yet, but it's Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm now starting to, you know, get proper, well, I say capacitors that are in spec for the projects that I'm working on. So that's what those ones are about. And lucky last, which has no description on it. So the mystery prize, we'll see what this one is. And that'll be Mailbag, and it'll be Postbag. And there's not going to be a Postbag. Not on my watch. And, oh, okay. Wow. More resistors. Chunky monkeys too. So these are 5 watt. So I've sprung for 47 ohms and 220 ohms, 100 ohms, and 330 ohms. Might be worth having a look at accuracy while we're in the neighborhood. Let's look at the 330 as an example. So boy, they're big. Poke that guy in there. So this is supposed to be 330, and meter says 326.5. Nice one. One more while we're on a roll. We'll go with a 47 ohm. And again, that sort of grow lighty, you know, that sort of thing where you, or indeed, you know, speakers, or I don't know, just the idea that if you want to put through some significant current, then you've got the resistor to match. This one is 45.8. Nice one. All right, so let's call these guys legit, and I'll just add it to the buckets. Well, that's Mailbag, Postbag, and that's a wrap, and we'll see you next time. Bye.